Here on the ground, change happens fast. Problems feel frequent and urgent. It's loud and anxiety runs high. From a satellite view, the Earth looks the same as it did thousands of years ago. We've been here before. Let's learn from our past and shoot for a better future.
Hello and welcome to this episode of A Satellite View. I'm Todd Mikkelson, your host, speaking at you from Sunday, February 9th, 2025, in the space and time continuum. Still not getting used to the 2025 thing. And I guess today's Super Bowl Sunday, which I'm not a football guy, so I never know when it is. And I also don't pay much attention to I don't have TV. So I don't really see commercials. I don't see the build-up. I just go out on that particular Sunday and I wonder why nobody's around. I'll go to the grocery store or something and I'm like, man, it's just empty in here today. And then I remember, oh yeah, everybody's at home watching the Super Bowl except me. I'm the only person in the whole country not watching it. Anyway, this week, I want to focus a lot on how you do not need to have as much anxiety as you probably have. You've heard me say it on this show. If you are, again, watching TV, watching mainstream media, you are more scared than you need to be. We need to listen to people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, as most people know her. She said this week.
Trump pardoned virtually all the January 6th insurrectionists, including hundreds with violent records, including specifically people who were arrested with specific threats against my life personally. And I don't want to give them my fear. I'm not going to give them my fear. And I feel more like squaring up than anything else. I'm like, if you want to come, come. Because this is like this monster that feeds on our terror. And what they represent are people who they eat fear, they sustain themselves on anxiety, and I'm not going to give them that. I care about other people. I care about my communities. These people need cynicism. They need apathy. They eat fear. They need chaos. They need anxiety. And the more we give them that, the bigger they get.
That's AOC giving us words of wisdom, as she often does. Don't give them your fear. Don't give it to them. Don't let them make you feel fear. That's what they want. It's the feces fire hose. They want us all to feel scared and confused, full of anxiety. That's what they want. That's what Trump wants. That's what Elon Musk wants. That's what these oligarchs, these dictators in the world, that's what they want us to feel. Let's not give that to them. I'm going to play the part where she says, I'm not going to give them my fear. I won't give them my fear. I'm going to play that over and over again on these shows. She will be a constant reminder of this. Think about for a little bit. They do so many things. He signed so many executive orders. But this just in. Elon Musk's Doge team blocked from accessing Treasury Department records. A judge blocks Trump plan offering incentives for federal workers to resign. New York Attorney General delivers massive blow to Trump in a late-night order. Trump's agenda hits speed bumps. Consumer confidence down. I threw that one in at the end, but he's being blocked. What actually is happening? The U.S. aid, okay, that's not being shut down. These judges are coming in and making rulings. Many of them are Trump-appointed judges, are coming in and making rulings saying, no, Elon Musk can't do that. Nope, Donald Trump can't do that. There's actually an organization in Washington, D.C., apparently telling federal workers to not resign. Do not take up these offers to resign that the Trump administration is giving them. For one thing, there's not enough money. They're offering them pay until September or something like that. When you do the math, it adds up to an immense amount of money, and we don't have the money. They're making a promise that is illegal for them to make. They can't say, hey, quit now and we'll still pay you for 6 more months. They can't do that. They're tricking all these people. That has been stopped. Remember last week, we said the freeze is frozen. Put a freeze on the frozen. We have frozen the freeze on spending in the government. And what else is happening? Power of the people. This is something that AOC would be somebody to really encourage us. We had an immense amount of people come out for protests in all 50 states. And even more in some of the provinces and in other countries against Donald Trump. Remember the big tariffs. Last week I was saying, is the tariff on? Is the tariff off? Did the tariff start? The tariffs were supposed to start last Saturday, February 1st. I'm sure they didn't look at a calendar when they picked February 1st to start the tariffs because it's a Saturday. But anyway, I was recording last Sunday, and I said, so did the tariffs start? What happened? On Monday, the tariffs were pulled back by Trump himself because he's become a cartoon. We don't need to be scared of a cartoon. I know a lot of people are really nervous about serious things like missing out on Medicaid funding and things like that. That's not going to happen. They can't do that. They're trying to throw a wrench in everything. I don't know if it'll be more complicated or it'll get delayed. I know they have a couple of weeks ago shut down the websites where you access your Medicare and Medicaid. They're doing things that are scaring the crap out of people. And I know it's easier for me to sit here and say not to be scared when you're at home on Medicaid and I'm not. But it is going to turn out to be okay. I know it seems scary. But that's what they want. They want us all to be scared. The tariffs, the cartoonishness of it. He calls the Prime Minister of Mexico and she says, well, we'll do this, and this. All things she was already doing. All things Mexico was already doing. As a matter of fact, Mexico sent 10,000 troops to the border when Biden requested them to do so in 2021. He didn't say, I'm going to be putting a tariff on you if you don't do it. He just said, hey, could you help us out? Sending 10,000 troops to the border would help us. They said, okay, sure, you're our friend. Trump said, we're not your friend. Do this, or I'll put tariffs on you. So she said, okay, I'll send 10,000 troops to the border. They already had 15,000 troops at the border. But Trump is too stupid to know that. So he said, okay, thank you. And he pulled back the tariffs. Same thing happened in Canada. It's just, and then United States Postal Service from China was going to be stopped completely. I mean, that's what the Trump administration said. But then the USPS said, no, we're not going to do that. Are you kidding me? Most of the mail that we work with is from China. The economy would collapse immediately if we stopped bringing in mail from China. So the USPS said, no, we're not stopping that. Trump thinks he's in charge, but he's not. He's being thwarted at every turn. So remember that. I mean, seriously, what really has happened differently? Other than things looking like chaos on TV. Now, there are things like airplanes falling out of the sky. That's Trump's fault. And maybe it's Vladimir Putin's fault. NATO announced publicly that they found that Russia was planning on putting bombs on planes that are going to go into the United States or are already in the United States. Another plane went down with 10 people on it in Alaska. Remember how you can see Russia from Sarah Palin's house in Alaska? Ice raids. Fox News was going to do a ride along on an ice, going and making all these arrests. We're going to watch them arrest all these horrible criminals. They made 0 arrests, and a bunch of people in the town told them to get out. Also, over 100 ICE agents spent 5 hours in Chicago last week. They arrested 2 people. In Denver and Aurora, Colorado, over 400 agents were dispatched, and they knocked on hundreds of doors trying to make arrests of criminal migrants. They found 1. They made 1 arrest. We talked last week also about the fact that Trump is actually making less deportations than Biden made. And he's making less deportations of criminals than Biden made. Trump is angry. I have a deportation. I looked it up on Google, and here are the headlines. Trump is angry that deportation numbers are not higher. Mass deportation, devastating costs to America. Weekly U.S.-Mexico border update. A quiet border, certain cataclysmic consequences for mass deportation. New report details catastrophic impact of mass deportations. His whole thing is it's not happening. It's not working. Project 2025 is unable to get launched. It's being thwarted over and over again. Now he's doing absolutely idiotic things. He's such a petulant little child. He said, "I'm removing the chairperson of the Kennedy Center and inserting myself. I will now have charge over all art and culture at Kennedy Center." Kennedy Center's not even a government thing. He has absolutely no power over that. That's like him saying he's firing the chairperson of Ford Motor Company, and he is now becoming the president of Ford Motor Company, and only he can say what kind of cars they're going to make. He just says it, and then it gets reported. And then you get like, oh my God, what's happening? The world's falling apart. Now he's taken over Kennedy Center. No, he's not. He's not taking over Kennedy Center. He can't. And the reason he's doing it is because he knows the world admires John F. Kennedy. He's jealous because John F. Kennedy, for one thing, John F. Kennedy started USAID, USAID. That was John Kennedy started that because he wanted the world to feel what he called the soft power of the United States. That would enhance our leadership across the world because we would be helping people like women and children who need special health care. I mean, children with diseases in other countries, not to mention aid from USAID, USAID, went a lot to farms in red states that voted for Trump to buy those farmers' products and send them to these countries who need them. Otherwise, a lot of the food these farmers produce would just spoil, would just sit in a truck or sit in a warehouse or something like that and spoil. And the farmer wouldn't sell it because he wouldn't be getting paid for it. This is how stupid Elon Musk and Donald Trump are. And this is why their whole scheme to shut down USAID was stopped. And by the way, when you hear Elon Musk say that USAID is a criminal empire, Democrats paid for, under the Biden administration, Kamala Harris took a big focus on it as well, to do audits of where USAID money was going. Because, whenever anything like this happens, there are problems. They found instances where the Taliban stole the money once it got to certain countries. They did the audit because they knew there were things like that going on. They wanted to find out what was going on so that they could stop it. That was the Democratic Party did that. And then Elon comes in and says, it's a criminal empire. It needs to die. These people are fucking idiots and twerps. And they're being thwarted. We got a lot more to talk about just in this vein. And don't worry, because some of it still is funny. So, we will have some fun still, but just remember to take care of yourself and don't let them have your fear. Don't give them your fear. That's what they want.
I'm not going to give them my fear.
You heard what she said. They thrive on it. They eat it. It nourishes them. Let's starve them. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back on A Satellite View. Satellite View, Todd Mikkelson here, your host. If you like the music you hear, go to toddmikkelson.com, push the music button, find the music that you hear on the show, and a lot of other music I've written over the years. Go to my Instagram account and follow me. I need more followers there. You can also find video clips on our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and look for A Satellite View. Not sure where to start here. There are headlines. What Democrats did today. Democratic attorneys general filed a lawsuit to stop Elon Musk from accessing America's data. That was on February 7th. House Democrats showed up at the Department of Education to demand answers from the acting secretary on Trump's illegal order to abolish the department, which of course is not going to happen. The DNC filed an amicus brief against Republicans' voter suppression case in Georgia. Senate Democrats launched an investigation into Doge's actions at the Department of Education. The Democratic Women's Caucus came together to call out Trump and Elon Musk for putting women and families' access to care at risk. That was posted by David Hogg, who is now the vice chair of the DNC. And our very own Ken Martin has taken over as chair and getting off to a good start. Trump talked about groceries, sort of an old-fashioned word. The price of groceries went through the roof. You take a look at eggs. I mean, the eggs are double, triple, quadruple. They're going through the roof. No, there's some outside problem with the eggs, maybe. I don't. He's talking about now. Under his administration, and he gets fixated on the word groceries because you can tell he just learned the word groceries. Groceries, it's an old-fashioned word. It means all the food we eat. That's what it means. Groceries, groceries. What a word. Yeah, I'm also reminded. I was going to talk about this last week, and I didn't because it's just so much to talk about. Trump opened up a couple reservoirs in California and sent water out of them. And it was really stupid. It was a waste of water, but he was trying to send them to the fires, he thought. Didn't go to the fires. It went to farm country that is already, their land is full of water. So, of course, it flooded. So Trump causes floods in California, does not make any of the water go down to where the fires were. What else here? Oh, yeah. So I'm going down my blue sky now. I'm going to stop doing that. It's just distracting me at this point. This just in. A judge has awarded a historic black church in Washington control over the Proud Boys trademark after the far-right group defaulted on a $2.8 million judgment. The Monday ruling in D.C. Superior Court grants rights to the trademark of the group's name to the Metropolitan African Methodist Episcopal Church and bars the Proud Boys members from selling any merchandise with its name or symbols without the church's consent. I think that's kind of artful of that ruling, whoever made that ruling. The Proud Boys had that's kind of their main thing they did, right? Was sell stuff with their name on it, and now they can't. And it's pretty funny. The people that they hate now have power over their name and I guess could sell Proud Boys material and make money, but they're not going to do that. Trump signed something saying that, hey, if you're a white guy, used to be a part of apartheid South Africa, come to the United States, migrate, be a migrant to the United States if you're a white South African. And the reason he did that is because he just wants to demonstrate, yes, we are this racist. If you hear people talking about, don't call Republicans racist. No, we want you to know we are this racist. Yes, we are Nazis. Some neo-Nazi guy was standing at the Department of Education because he was able to come into the United States under this new ruling, apparently. But he's some neo-Nazi guy who came from South Africa. Elon Musk, bringing all his buddies, what's his name? Peter Thiel, a couple of these other guys. They are apartheid guys from South Africa. White racists. It's just stunning, really. They want us to know now. Yes, we are as racist as you think we are. Also, Isaac Saul writes about something that Donald Trump said. Donald Trump said that U.S. aid spent $8 million on Politico, the news outlet. He calls it a Democratic rag, which it's not. First of all, it's not a rag because it's not on paper. Idiot! Secondly, it's far from left-wing. It's not Politico. Politico is a word that other people can use as well. So I'm going to read to you what Isaac Saul wrote on Twitter. All right, I swear this is the last time I'm going to try to explain this, but nobody can read government docs, so here it goes. Number one, Politico did not get $8 million in a year from U.S. aid. It got $8 million from 2016 to fiscal year 2025 from all government agencies and departments. USAID spent a grand total of $44,000 on Politico Pro subscriptions over 2 years. So that's $22,000 per year, only for 2 years. And Politico Pro is not Politico, the news outlet. Politico Pro is not Politico.com, the website you are familiar with. It is a premium subscription service that has dashboards, tools, legislative tracking, etc. It's for subscriptions to their trade publishing. All of this information is freely available, by the way, on usaspending.gov, the source website everyone is getting these numbers from. So if you're sharing claims counter to these, if you're repeating Trump, you're just proving that you don't know how to read a government database. You're proving that you're an idiot just like Donald Trump and Elon Musk. They're idiots and twerps. Don't give them your fear.
I'm not going to give them my fear.
Yeah. Here's another thing that happened. Donald Trump made a big deal out of Kamala Harris being on 60 Minutes during the campaign. She did an interview. He was too chicken to go in and do the interview. So Kamala goes on. They edit the interview the way they edit any interview. He sued them to release the transcript and the raw video footage. They did not apologize, and I don't know what they did as far as money is concerned, because they're trying to do a merger, and they're afraid Trump's going to block them from doing it. That's what Trump is. This is part of the grift. He's taking bribes. He's asking for and then taking bribes, and he's doing it by suing them. Anyway, so CBS does release the raw footage, and all it does is just further endear us all to Kamala Harris. There's a clip of her where she's got a Kleenex and she's like, mold is up right now. And I know this because it's the one thing I'm allergic to. And she's kind of, working with her nose a little bit. She didn't do a blatant, blowing of her nose, but still she's, getting ready for the interview. She's being jovial and kind and joyful. She's smiling. Seems happy and fun, At one point, she goes, "Hey, is somebody in the dining room? We're trying to do this interview." And she kind of laughs, and somebody in the dining room goes, "Oh, I'm sorry," like real human things going on that now is released because they released the raw footage. And of course, the interview itself was 53 minutes. The show is called 60 minutes. It's got 20 minutes of commercials. They got to do the whole interview in less than 40 minutes. So of course, they're going to edit it. Idiot. So all this did was just, I don't know. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched enough of it to see, there's nothing embarrassing on here. And then, of course, he immediately stops talking about it because he sees that, that was a stupid screw up. Of course it was. Idiot. Don't give him your fear. He's too stupid. What else do we got? I think that's about it. Are we going to actually go a little under time this week? I think so. I don't know, but I'm feeling kind of exhausted, which pisses me off as well. But I did, though, I get worked up because I'm really pissed off that you are so scared. I hear from some of you, and you're scared about things, and then and we're all looking for an answer. It feels like this can't be sustained, and I believe it can't. I really think something's going to change. But it looks like a lot of people were ready for this, including a lot of Trump-appointed judges who are stopping a lot of what he's doing, if not all of what he's doing. And Elon Musk. Also, when's the last time you've seen Elon Musk? When's the last time you've seen J.D. Vance? Why did J.D. Vance disappear almost immediately upon inauguration? What is going on? I don't have answers for those things, but here's one more thing that happened in Cincinnati. This is more power of the people thing. In Cincinnati, some Nazis, actual Nazis, they call themselves Nazis. They had Nazi flags, swastika flags. They had, I don't know, some banner that they kept blurring it out on any of the footage I saw, so I'm not sure what it said, but something Nazi, And then cars were driving by and they were yelling at them using the N-word. The neighborhood rose up immediately, went out, ran them out of town because they're scared little twerps. They burned their Nazi flags, and they recognized one of the vehicles of one of the Nazis and pummeled it. Broke all the windows, slashed the tires. That's what happens when you come to our town. Did you Nazi that we were going to do this to you? Nazi? There were these black young men that a lot of people would be scared of because of the way they dress. It pisses me off so much because these are real people, and these white people judge them for, I don't know why. I mean, their culture's different, so you got to be scared of them. Again, that's just stupid. But these guys are going, hey, man, you bring hate here, man. This is all about love. We're not here to fight, man. This is all about love. They're here all about love because love kills the hate. And they know that. They came and got rid of the hate. They came together in love. These guys are saying it. You can see it. You can find it easily on YouTube. Local news channels were there covering it. And the neighborhood looked like it was mostly a black neighborhood. Most of the people gathered there were black, but there were other people as well that all came together to get rid of these Nazis that came to their neighborhood. And that's what we are doing. That's what we need to do. Whatever you can do. If you want to go to a march, if you want to go to, last Wednesday was these protests where thousands and thousands of people showed up in thousands and thousands of different locations across the world and in this country. We need to band together and show that they cannot have our fear.
I'm not going to give them my fear.
They need to show that the love will push your hate out. The only thing that gets rid of the darkness is light. The only thing that gets rid of the hate is love. All right? Something MLK taught us years ago. But a lot of people already knew that. People who have been repressed for centuries already knew that. So we need to keep learning that. And now is the time where we need to be strong and make sure that we stay in the light. Don't let the darkness creep in. Don't let them have your fear.
I'm not going to give them my fear.
Don't give them that power. They're way too twerpy. Too twerpy. All right. Now I've gone overtime. I thought I was going to end early a few minutes ago. Now I'm late. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right. Listen, thank you again so much for listening. We're gonna do this every week. You and I, we're gonna support each other. We're gonna come together and listen to this show. I want you to feel like we're all listening to it at the same moment. I want you to feel the community that's gathering even just around this show, but in a lot of other places. There is way more of us than there are of them. And we're not twerps, they are. So thank you again for sticking with me here on A Satellite View. I'll speak at you next week.
You've been listening to A Satellite View with Todd Mikkelson. Go to toddmikkelson.com for links and more information.